Hello there. Yeah guys, just another video for myself. Just thought I'd like to see what I've gotten finished just lately on the painting desk. Yeah, I showed these guys in the last video, very early stages. I think I had just gotten them primed and maybe just some of the base coats on. Yeah, so what we've got here is, I'll show you the other ones in a minute. These are the three Union commanders from the Perez metal range. And these are from your left to right. We have Maid, and then we have Doubleday, and then we've got Hancock. And yeah, very nice sculpts here. Yeah, a little turn around there as well. Yeah, quite quick to paint these guys, as I say. Mostly dark blue. Some gold buttons and little facing edges, and so yeah. Anybody that does American Civil War will know that painting Union troops is quite quick. Yeah, you can get through them really nice and easy, but they do paint up really well. I always think when I start a Union figures that, oh yeah, look a bit drab and just dark blue, but they always turn out good once you get some highlights and a bit of a shade and then the darker recesses. Yeah, I do find they turn out well. So as I say, I've mounted these two in a singular MDF base, circular MDF base, and this one on just a single plastic base. Yeah, I'm still experimenting with the contrast paints, especially on the horses. These two here, these were just done my normal method was, I think they were both Vallejo colours, or maybe the darker one was actually a foundry paint. And what I do is I just paint them base coat and then I give them a wash. The lighter one I give a wash in Agrat's Earthshade, and the darker one gets a wash of Nuln Oil, both from Games Workshop. And I think that does quite well. So yeah, as I say, I've been experimenting with the contrast paints, especially for horses, trying to get them done quicker. Now this one was actually done with a contrast paint over I think it was a base coat of the grey cere. Yeah, again, I can't remember which contrast I used for that one actually. It possibly had been maybe this one. Or Grunt Differ, possibly. And you'll see, I mean, it's okay. It actually reminds me on seeing some of the guys that used to do the oil washes. That's what that reminds me on. But I think I've bought in some, I'll show you this as well. I've just gotten some of this technical contrast medium from Citadel, from Games Workshop, Citadel Colour. I'm going to try mixing it so maybe thin it down a little bit, and we'll see how it goes on. As I say, I mean, it's not a bad finish, but again, I'll just experiment. It looks a bit like streaky in little bits, but overall, from the distance, it looks okay. Yeah, if I can get it to maybe a bit of consistency, and then I'll be quite happy doing most of the horses just like that. Again, what I did with the mane and tail, this one as well, I used the other contrast paint Black Templar, and then a dry brush of, I think it was, I'll get it here guys, yeah, dry brush at Dawnstone, which I use in all my black areas, which is quite a good paint. Yeah, so that's them. And while I've got these guys here, I'll just go through the blue colour. I used to use a foundry paint, but yeah, I just started painting these guys and realised that I had actually finished it. It was a British Napoleonic blue colour that I used to use. So what I did this time was, I'm using a lot of Citadel paints at the moment. I used Night Lord's blue on top of the grey cere, I'll give you that one as well, on top of the grey cere base coat. I had to do two thin coats to get an even finish of this. So that was good. First time I've used that on these Union figures. I think it turned out quite well actually. And then I gave the blue a wash of Nuln Oil. And then what I do after that is I give it a dry brush of this Vallejo Field Blue, which just lightens up all the edges, and I think it's turned out pretty well. And that's about all the colours for them guys. So yeah, right, we'll move them to the side and we'll bring in the other figures that are finished off here. And these are the Confederate ones this time. Again, Perry's metals. So on this time we've got left to right. We've got Longstreet with Lee on the circular base, and then we've got Hood on the single base there on the right. Again, these base colours are wash, and most of it I just left with the wash. I didn't highlight much at all on the figures themselves. The horses, again, you'll see this one here, Hood's horse here. This is actually a foundry, a foundry bay brown colour. And that got a black wash. And then the mane and tail was done with the contrast black Templar and then dry brushed with the Dawnstone. The greys, this one I think was, yeah, I can't remember offhand. What it is, I've got the Foundry Confederate paint sets, and anybody doing American Civil War, I would really recommend them. I think there's about 4 sets. 2 sets of greys, which is 6 paints, and 2 sets of butternut, which is the drab colours. So it gives you a nice variation. And what I do normally with the Confederates is I just pick out a couple of the greys, and then, because they were all sort of different shades in the illustrations that you see in the book. So yeah, just different greys up and the selection of foundries, and then a wash. Sometimes I do give them a dry brush or a lighter grey, but these I just left them. I was quite happy with the finish actually. Lee's on the white horse with a little bit of dark one at the back there. I'll bring it, but get focused in a little bit, that's better now. Again, that was from a grey sear base coat. I then put on a coat of this paint here, which is the base Wraithbone. I then give it a thin down wash, Agrux Earthshade, and then I highlight it up with, if I can grab it here, which is the label's getting a bit faded, is the Vallejo model colour Ivory. It's kind of thin down, and that gives you that off-whitey colour there. It turned out quite well. As I say, Lee's got that duster coat on, and a straw hat as well. A nice, really nice figure that. Taken off of as an illustration in a Don Troniani book. You see him in that gear. Yeah, very nice indeed. And then you've got Longstreet with a telescope. Again, that was the same contrast paint on the horse that I used on the Union figure, which I just showed a minute ago. And again, it does look a little bit streaky here and there, but as I say, I'm going to try it with the contrast medium and see how it comes out when it's thinned down a little bit. So that's them there as well, guys. So that's the Confederate commanders. And then last of all, what I've got done, let's move them aside as well. I showed these guys, these were the 4, well, it's a sprue of 4 figures, Warlord Games French, which came with the issue of War Games Illustrated last month, or this month. So yeah, I mean, they're just 4 figures, so I've just painted them up. I'll probably pop these onto eBay. As you see, I mean, I'm not a great fan of these figures, but I must admit that I say it all the time, they do paint up well. The finished figures do look good, I must admit. I don't know what it is about the Warlord Games. I don't know, it's maybe just the posing or something, but they're not my favourite figures, but as I say, they paint up well. I do have a whole unit of, well, a couple of units of figures, Warlord Games figures in my collection. One of French and one of Polish, so yeah, I'm not that bad at all. Yeah, what I did, you'll see the back part there. I'll maybe pick up one of the figures. Again, I mean, experimenting again with the contrast paints just to see if I can speed up the paint a little bit. If that'll focus in. Yeah, it's a bit better now. You'll see the fur on the back part. That's one thing. I must admit, the sculpting on the fur on this figure's are actually quite good, quite a lot of detail. Yeah, so what I did here was, this was on top again, a grey sear undercoat, and I used to use a base coat, a wash, and then a highlight on the back backs. But I found with this, as I say, the grey sear base coat, and then I've used this contrast snakebite leather over top, and it really does give you a nice finish on the fur there. Quite pleased with that. So that has speeded up. That's cut out one paint for the back backs already. So yeah, let's again, I used on these, I did highlight the blue on these without doing a dry brush. I actually did a highlight, and again, that's a Foundry paint for the highlight, French Blue C. You'll see just on the raised areas. But again, I think I did use the Night Lord's Blue Citadel for the base for the blue. And again, I'm getting away from doing the white trousers on the French, just so it looks a little bit different. That's actually back to the wraith bone for the trousers. A thin down wash of Argarax Earthshade, and then re-highlight again with the wraith bone, which gives it a nice contrast to the rest. Oh, I just dropped them. Which gives it a nice contrast to the rest of the white. The white on the tunic and the white straps. So yeah, it does. I think it looks quite good. It makes the trousers look a little bit dirtier as well. You know, not white, parade ground white rather than campaign looking white. So yeah, that's them. Turn them around again. You see, there's some static grass coming off. I'll have to clean that off for the bases. I just finished basing these guys up last night. Yeah, so I'll move these in the front there. Put these guys back on as well. And these guys. So yeah, that's what I've gotten done over the past, I think it's maybe I've lost track, maybe 2 weeks or so. So yeah, that's not a lot, but something done. I'm quite pleased to get those American Civil War commanders done. They've been sitting on my to-do list for a while, so good to get them out and painted. Right guys, what I'll do, I'll swing around. I'll let you see, it's getting quite a busy painting desk now. I've been cleaning and priming some figures, and we'll just turn around. So yeah, here's what I can't remember if I had these guys on the table before the last. I think I did. This is what I'm working on at the moment on the front here. French limber. The limber's over on the other end of the desk. This is the horse team and the riders. They're from Black Hussar Miniatures. It could be, I think, Paul Hicks sculpts. Very nice indeed. As I say, just early stages, getting base colours on. And since I was in the American Civil War zone, I've gotten these three guys started. It's just a Union Commander's pack, Officer's pack, 3 mounted figures. And then the other night, I think I was watching the football, and I thought, yeah, I'll just clean up some figures. So I went a bit mad. So I've cleaned up a unit of French Old Guard in the campaign look. I think I'm going to do these as the 4th Grenadiers. These are the guys with the mixed headgear and that. So they've all been, as you see, primed up, ready to go. And over at the back, if I can maybe just lift that camera over there, you can see there's a command pack of French. It's actually like Napoleon's valets, and you'll see there's Roustan the Mameluke and that, and the Napoleon's horse holder. So they've been primed up as well. So yeah, busy workbench guys. That's what's going on at the moment. And we'll just finish off with a little swing around back to here. So yeah guys, that's it for just now. Hopefully I'll be back with another video in the next few weeks. Hopefully get that other American Civil War commanders finished, and maybe the French limber. That'd be good. But anyway guys, thanks for watching the video. Watching all your videos, clicking the like button. Yeah, enjoying the hobby. Hope you are too. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye bye.